At Intel, world-changing ideas start with real solutions, and real solutions start with exceptional engineering. The quantum computing revolution, the next generation of AI experts, the renewable energy grid, early diagnosis for cancer. The examples are countless, the impacts are endless, but the foundation is always the same. It starts with Intel. Learn more at intel.com/stories.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. Right now I got time. I'm not doing this all late at night and things, but I am going to do an episode, but I remember yesterday, bro, I was just trying to do a simple shout out. I was going to do an episode. I was going to make it a 15-minute episode, but I kept messing up, and I'm like, bro, I don't understand why. I thought I was going to be okay with like my podcast, but it just seemed like it's like slowly transitioned from YouTube to my podcast, where I had to do like multiple takes of a YouTube video, and now I'm like, I could honestly do a YouTube video no problem, and then with my podcast I'm like sitting here like all night trying to do a podcast episode. So that's why I'm like, I started doing them early on in the day, because I'm like, nah man, that's just doing too much, sitting here trying to do an episode and messing up that many times. It's wasteful, man. Like, it is very, very, very wasteful. When it's like, that's why a lot of people, I have to say why they most likely write down what they're going to say so they won't mess up. But my thing is, like, I like being, I'm not necessarily saying that writing down your material is not real. But with me, at least, I try to be as real and as authentic as possible. So it's like whatever is on my mind, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to be like, okay, let me write this down for later. You know, maybe if it's like an idea, like if I'm all like, oh, let me talk about this video game, or let me talk about this or that. And, then it's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. But if it's like, okay, do this, like, I've tried that method before, with, like, because I've just recently did it with a video, but how I did it was like, okay, I know I'm going to talk about this, so, but I'm going to just, whatever is on my mind, or whatever I can find out about the information, I'm not going to write it down, I'm just going to remember it and talk about it the best way I possibly can. So, that's me. That's how I do things. Everybody else is different, but I try to do things like a much more harder and difficult way. I know a lot of people, because that's where I think why a lot of people, they think having 21 YouTube channels is so much, because just overall, like, the work ethic behind one channel, where it's like you're constantly writing down things, you're constantly recording, you're constantly doing this. And I'm like, me, I already know what I'm gonna say, I already know what I'm gonna do. So it's like, it's stuff that's like pre-written, but it's in my head like pre-written. It ain't like I got a journal or a notebook or something. I'm like, I think that's one thing that I've like grown to like, or like learned and stuff, was just, having things like already in my head and stuff. So I'm a very creative person. Like, people might find that hard to believe, but I'm telling you, I can sit down. Like, I was thinking of, like, I was going out for a walk today. I'd be exercising throughout the day, and I was already thinking of, like, video ideas for my hip-hop channel and stuff. And it's an idea that hasn't even left my mind. In fact, I am going to actually start working on that after. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get, because I worked on a couple of songs today. Shout out to my good friends, Four Souls. I worked on a song, like a part 2 to the one song I did for them titled Four Souls, and then I did like a Halloween type song, because it's the holidays almost coming up and stuff, so or the month at least, so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to work on some more creepy music and things. Like, I'm probably gonna try to work on that tonight, but I got like so many different things. Then it's like videos I'm like looking at. It's like Michael Reeves. It's like Taser camera makes me the tallest person. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open that up. I got like a lot of videos that I plan on reacting to, so it's gonna be busy. It's gonna be busy and stuff tonight. So I made sure, I got my drinks on standby. I'm wide awake, like I'm not feeling tired and stuff. So I'm gonna try to at least get as much as I could done. But anyways, what today's episode is going to be is me promoting once again my motivational channel, Core Motivate. So I created this channel to just overall motivate people, help out people in a time of need, because it can, it can be stressful at times. Well, I wouldn't say that I know better than anybody, but I've had my stressful days and stuff, with YouTube, personal life, a lot of things. And overall, like just pretty much like everything that person would deal with, like I want to be able to give off some sort of motivation, like for that person and things to let them know, like, hey, and that's what I did. I did that not too long ago. There's a song that's titled like "It's Okay, You're Going to Be Okay" or something like that. And I just left like a motivational comment and stuff, and then there was a person that reached out and they were thanking me for it, and so I was like, I felt like like me helping out that one person. I was like, that's stuff that like makes me feel better. It makes me feel better about like they're knowing that there's multiple people that's like dealing with depression and dealing with with stress and a bunch of other problems. Like the fact that one person reached out to me, it did make me feel a little bit better about like hearing that. Like I was telling a friend of mine that kind of, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a superhero, but I try to be like act like a real, well, not a vigilante, but like an actual, like somebody when they need help, I try to like be there to help them. So I try to be like a more realistic superhero and stuff, because I'm like, ain't nobody gonna need help falling from a top of a building, like, and then all of a sudden Superman comes in like, oh, Superman to the, but like my thing is like, if you dealing with some stuff, I know I had like some sort of advice, or I can say something or do something to help you out. So I try my best to do that and things. But yeah, I was telling a friend of mine that the other day. That's like, I would try to like, I try to be like a, guess just growing up watching a lot of superhero movies, you're like, oh, okay, I can do something like this, but like a more realistic version, whatever their problem is, just overall gonna help out and stuff. So anyways, but the episode overall what I wanted to do was talking on like not giving up on your dreams. Like overall, like if you feel like that your dreams is taking too long to be accomplished, goals, anything that you got like going on in your life, if you feel like it's taking too long, like it's supposed to be that way for a reason. And my reasoning, I feel like we're just pretty much like to explain to you guys why I think that it takes longer for some people. Because I know it can be frustrating, because I know it's frustrating for me at times where I'm like, I'm seeing people that literally do like facial expressions on TikTok blow up. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm sitting here making like whole albums, gaming video. I got 21 YouTube channels, all different content. Like, I'm a podcast. I got all these different things that I'm working on. And a teenager making facial expressions literally gets 20 million followers. That can be so frustrating. I feel your pain. I seriously do. I seriously do. I feel that type of pain, but it's harder for some people. I feel like that you overall have like, if you display like that hard work and dedication, I feel like that you have something to fall back on, rather than somebody that's doing facial expressions on TikTok. They're going to think that, oh, that's all that I got to do, so I ain't got to do anything else. And then when they start doing other stuff, then it's like, well, what happened to the facial expression videos? That's all that person is going to want. All they're going to want is facial expression videos. And I guess I can kind of relate to those, like, facial expression TikTokers and stuff on my own type of content, because with reaction videos, everybody be expecting me to do a reaction video. The love that I get for reaction videos, don't get that from my gaming videos, don't get that from my music or any of my other channels or TikTok or nothing else. People, when you overall like put yourself in an area of like social media or whatever, and you get good at it, then people are only going to expect that out of you. They're not going to expect anything else out of you. So that's why I'm like, don't give up on your like the other things that you're working on in life just so you can entertain this crowd. Like I am entertaining the like reaction video crowd, but I'm like, hey, I got these channels, I'm coming out with this music, I'm doing stuff on TikTok, I'm doing all these different things. So I'm like, you guys, like, y'all asking for it, like, oh, are you on this platform, or are you on this? I'm like, I've been on this platform, I've been doing these things. Like, people, like, honestly, I feel like that with some situations, and it is messed up where, like, people just, I feel like it's like, somewhat like some strong words to be saying this, but I feel like at sometimes people are like social media slaves. Like they're only like people only want one thing from them. Like, no, do this, don't do this. I want you because there's this this TikToker that I follow. He's a really good dancer too, and he did like he was doing these like ushy gushy dance videos, and I thought they were funny and stuff. Like every time when he posted them, I would like laugh about it. I found them entertaining and stuff. I didn't follow him for that reason though. I followed him because he did these videos where he act like he got like knocked out and his whole body is spinning around and he'll just fold up and things. I follow him for those videos. But if he were to stop doing those videos, my thing was is that I'm a supporter of his now. I'm a fan of his now. So me being a fan of his content, whatever he posts, I have to respect it. I have to be like, okay, because my thing is like, you can stop posting the videos that I start following you for, as long as you are keeping the crowd entertained. That is all that matters. So he did kind of stop doing those videos because when he did like this ushy gushy dance video, then everybody was following him for that reason. So he was doing those videos. I'm like, okay, you know, no big deal and things. Like I like him and stuff. And then it was funny because once he started doing those videos, I forgot all about the knockout videos. So I was all like, oh, it's cool, you know, no biggie. Plus it was like a trend and stuff, like where people was doing these knockout videos. So he did one, blew up, and then he started doing more, blew up off of those, and then he did this ushy gushy, and then everybody was focused on that. So it was messed up because he started blowing up off of these videos, but then he got tired of them. And there is at times where it's like people, they do get tired of stuff. I know there's been times where I'm all like, you know, let me just take a break of like reaction videos and you know, and focus on something like else, you know, like my music or my gaming channel. So that's why I'm like, I'll pre-record, I'll try to get as many of these videos as I can. But it wasn't like something like back in the day, like back 5 years ago. Like I used to have like that passion for reaction videos. I would say now I have it, but it's different. It's not the same type of passion I had back then. So hands down, I will forever do like if people, but I find things that I want to react to. I don't like be people because no people. It's frustrating for me at times where I'm like, I'll post a video of reaction video. It'll be like a car crash videos, and then somebody will comment saying some stuff like, hey, can you react to this video? And I'm like, and that type of stuff, it is like kind of frustrating to a content creator and things. And that's why I'm like more so doing this episode, because I'm like, you know, despite things like that, like don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up. Like if you gotta wait until you've made it and then start doing the content, like, you know, once you get like a bigger audience, then do that. But back on this guy. So he goes and he posts these videos saying like, hey, I don't like doing these like ushy gushy videos anymore, so I'm done. And I'm telling you, these people started turning on him, telling him that he was falling off, saying that he needs to start doing these videos. He needs to. And my thing is like, what made me mad was that he started posting these dancing videos, which were good, and people was not feeling these videos. So I was all like, nah, that's not sliding with me. So I'm like, look, I might get no likes on this video, but I'm definitely showing my support. Cause me, I'm the type of person where I'm like, I'm gonna be a fan of everything that you do. I don't care what videos you post. I don't care what. And I think I was saying something along those lines yesterday when I was doing the 4 Soul shout out. But that's something that I've told them guys numerous times. I'm like, look, I don't care what videos you guys post. I am going to support it 100%. 100%. I will never ever stop supporting it. So that's the type of friend that I am. I'm like, when I became a fan of you, that's it. Done. Locked, sealed. No, like, there ain't gonna be me. I will never ever be that person where I'm like, oh, can you go back to doing these videos? There's YouTubers that's like, they are different. Like, you know, like I subscribed to them like back then. And, you know, and there's videos that in the videos that I subscribed to them for, like, they don't do those videos anymore. Don't care. Don't care. Look at that app, Vine. And how that app, like, I love when Viners would do videos on there, but then Vine disappeared, so I had to accept that. And my thing is, like, that's why I feel like with most people, what they have to do in situations where it's like, if a content creator ain't being the person that, you know, you subscribe to them for, like, they've changed. And my thing is, like, you have to accept that. You have to accept that a person is going to change. They're not going to be the same person, because that's why I feel like with some situations, it can be bad for the person. That's what I'm working on this video right now about Trisha Paytas and how when she started on YouTube, she was doing these like videos as if she was like acting like a child. And so everybody wanted that. She started getting paid. She started making all this money, was able to do all these different things. But at some point in time, she did kind of change a little bit, you know? So as she's changing, people are like, you know, starting to get on her. I mean, people was already getting on her for the content that she provided onto YouTube and stuff, but they started getting on her more, pretty much like cyberbullying and stuff. And yeah, now it's like this girl, she's like, you know, bad-ish crazy. She's she's pretty much like the person that she was when she started, but I would say worse. So that's why I'm like, when people, I'm like, that's what you'll do to a person when you keep begging them, I remember I lost some fans over it, and I'm like, you know what? My thing is, I remember that's something that I've always said. I'm like, if somebody unsubscribes to me, I know I'm gonna get a subscriber again the next day or the day after. I'm like, I'm getting subscribers every single day. So I'm like, if one person unsubscribes to me because I don't want to do these videos anymore, I'm like, that's my choice. I should have a choice on what I want to do on YouTube. You telling me what to do, what not to do and stuff. I'm like, no, this is my channel. That's my social media. I should be allowed to do whatever I want to do. So that's why, going back to the content creators themselves, when you feel like that you've lost that passion because, you just came across the wrong people on the internet, don't lose that passion. Do not lose that passion whatsoever. Keep going, keep doing what you're doing, whether you gotta do videos that you don't like, whether you gotta do videos that you do like, keep doing what you're doing. Either way, you are gonna still have people that support you. That's one thing that's never gonna change. If some people unfollow you or unsubscribe to you, whatever, unlike you, whatever platform you're on, you're going to gain some following. My thing is just post your content more on other social media platforms. That's why I'm like, don't just settle for like TikTok and only be on TikTok. Like, no, post your stuff on Instagram, post your stuff on Facebook, post your stuff on YouTube, post your stuff literally anywhere you can post it. Download, find apps where you can post your content and stuff, but don't settle for less overall. Don't settle for anything less. Keep improving yourself and being a better person each and every day. That's what I'm like, that's the motivation I put into everybody. I'm like, I want you to be a better person every single day. I don't want you to be anything less than what you were the day before. I want you today, be a better person. The next day, be better than what you were yesterday. The day after that, be better than the person that you've been for the past 2 days. Keep being that person. And that's like advice that I need to follow myself. Because I struggle at being a better person. I try to be a better person each and every day, and I feel like it's like and that's one thing for sure. It's definitely gonna be a work in progress. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some downfalls, some upsets. It's gonna be a lot to really bring out the best out of you and stuff. And that's what I'm like. And that's one thing that I have to say. Where I'm all like, I remember a few months ago when I was dealing with all my problems and stuff. And I was at an all-time low. I haven't been like that in years. I think last time I've been like that, I was in high school. So I was all like, man, I was at an all-time low a few months ago. But I, listening to friends, them motivating me, listening to myself, overall just, I wouldn't necessarily say being just angry, but being more passionate about what I was doing. So that's why I'm like, I will. Man, I'm telling you, there's videos I've uploaded recently. Back then, there's videos I uploaded where I was just I was down, out, just not, just not being myself. But overall, fake it to make it type situation and things. But I gave it my all the energy that I had into, what I was doing, whether it was a gaming video, a reaction video, TikTok, music, I don't care what it was. I gave it everything that I had. Now, was it going to be you know what? No, I'm not going to be this person where I'm I can't do it. I can't. No, I'm pretty much until the day I die, I'm always going to be working. I'm that's one thing. I'm you see everybody else around you getting a retirement, type job and things. I'm retirement ain't existing in my vocabulary. So I'm if I retire from something, it's because something's going, something major done happen. Something done really done took it. So it's going to be a temporary retirement, but I don't really see myself being that person to retire. I just see myself just one day, like just whenever I leave this world, then that's the day I retire. But until then, I'm like, I was born into this world to overall do something. So I'm like, pretty much I just got like figure out what it is. I don't know if it's YouTube, I don't know if it's acting, I don't know if it's music, I don't know what it is, but whatever it, like anything I'm doing right now, I'm gonna give it everything that I got, 100%. So if I get discovered doing this, but I'm supposed to be an actor, I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting somewhat closer to where I want to be at. If I'm doing this and I want to, and it's getting me closer to being a musician, then hey, I'm like, I'm getting closer. I'm getting, overall, that's how you guys see things, is that you are getting closer to where you need to be at in life. Don't think that you're, and that's why I'm like, that's why I tell people from now on to always keep yourself busy. Whatever your passion is, because it was one of my friends, she wants to start up like a plant business. So I'm like, this is somebody that I literally just met like maybe some weeks ago and stuff, but me and this person, we're good friends. I told them, I was just all like, look, we might have just met like within this year and stuff, but hey, understand this, I'm going to support you. Okay, this plant business is going to be a thing. Shoot, if I gotta go and become a famous YouTuber and then start up this plant business and just have her name like as the title of the business and things, I will do that. But I'm like, yo, there's that. Four Souls, their painting business. I told them, I'm all like, I mainly told Priscilla. I don't think I've told those guys yet, but I'm like, nah, I'm investing into your business. Like, I'm definitely gonna that's one thing. That was like 2 goals that I set for myself for them, and that's to come up with a billboard sign, like somewhere in downtown Seattle, and that's something that's still saved to this day. Where the billboard signs, it costs like $7,000 to put up somewhere in Seattle. So I'm definitely gonna do that. And there's like a spot, there's this spot, I'm like, that's what I'm like, I really, really want to make it, because when you're entering downtown, so let's say if you're coming from the south side of like Seattle and things, and then you go through like that industrial area, and then you head into downtown, there's this like billboard sign like right before you get to all the buildings and stuff that you'll see, and they'll like flip and stuff. That's like my dream like sign for them guys. I want that sign to be bright and early, right there in the smack like front of Seattle and things, or the back, wherever Seattle starts at. But I want it to be right there where everybody's gonna come into Seattle and they're gonna see that sign. And then the second thing that I want to do is buy property for them. So I definitely want to like buy out like a small building. Shoot, if it's like a big giant like skyscraper scraper building or something, like I ain't settling for anything less. So if it's like a floor or in a building, or if it's like a small little building itself, like, and that's one thing that I was thinking of too. I'm like, it can be like an industrial in that industrial area of Seattle where it's like a building out there, but like for them and their painting business and things. So I definitely like have all their gear there, have all their equipment there. People come in, be like, oh, it's like that painting area in Lowe's, but it's for Four Souls and stuff. So I definitely, that's like one thing I set for myself. I remember it was another friend of mine, they wanted to create a salon. I'm doing that. There's like so many things I want to really do and stuff. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, you can't give up. Once when you done found people or found something to keep you motivated. And I have to say that's where it originally started, me just being so motivated, because I've had like 7 years of me being on YouTube, right? 7 years. Never really had like no motivation behind it and stuff. And I had to say, I was like slacking and stuff, and I still feel like I'm slacking, but I feel like I'm like somewhat of a better person than I was like 5 years ago. I've finally like thought that to myself, that I'm like, dang, I am doing more than what I was doing like back 5 years ago. So I have to say I am better than who I was 5 years ago. And I've been saying that like recently. I'm like, I want to go back to being that person, but I'm like, yo, that person only had 2 YouTube channels and was straight up slacking. Like, yeah, he was like maybe a little bit more dedicated to the work and stuff, but overall, I'm like, nah, I'm out here doing 21 YouTube channels, podcasts, all these different things and stuff. But anyways, what was I saying before I got distracted? I straight up just got myself distracted and things. I'm like, I don't even understand that. Man, what was I saying? I was saying something. Dang, that's so messed up. I was on the road too. I was saying some deep motivational stuff. No, that's what I was saying. So anyways, for like 7 years, I didn't really have like no motivation. There was no motivation at all. So I kind of was like being taken away from YouTube. And you know what? That's one thing that I've never said or never admitted to, that I felt myself leaving, like, YouTube. I felt myself getting to that point where I'm like, is YouTube like really cut out for me? Is it made for me? Like, is this the place I'm supposed to be at? Because if not, then I'm like, I want to know what it is, and then, it's like wasting my time, like all that time I wasted on YouTube, I want to put that time into whatever I'm supposed to be in and stuff. But it wasn't up until like September 2017. That's when I met Priscilla from Four Souls. And I didn't even know, like, this is somebody I'm just all like, all right, at first I thought she was trying to get me into some pyramid scheme. I'm like, look, somebody else tried to get me into that. I ain't signing up for it. I ain't gonna be mailing you or sending you my social security number on no Facebook. So I'm like, until I see the money, then that would be the only way. But I'm like, look, all this stuff, I'm like, I ain't getting involved in no pyramid scheme or you talking about send me your personal information. But it's crazy because I remember the first day we started talking to each other and things. Because I remember it was like a long time ago, like when we were in high school. She was dealing with some stuff. I helped her out. I gave her, some motivational words and things. And then it was like, then some years later, then, she, it was like pretty much, it was like payback, but it was like good payback and stuff. Cause, I was in a very like dark spot in 2017 and things. There was like a lot of stuff going on and stuff. So, and it was like, and it was still like a work in progress and things. I have to say, I'm like, I don't even know where I'm really at in life right now. But anyways, but she, she messaged me. Then from there, we ended up becoming good friends. And then that's when it, like, finally snapped to me and stuff. I'm all like, yo, this is it. I'm like, this is the person. I'm like, this is what, like, that, like, I found that person to, really keep me motivated. Because I'm like, that's one thing that I've always told. I'm like, oh, yeah, hands down, when YouTube takes off, I got your back. I'm all like, yo, I'm going to be off up in some, like fat house, some nice, like, just crazy looking home and things. Either I don't know where it's gonna be at and stuff like that's. I'm like that's still when it happens. But no, I'm all like any car notes, house bills, mortgages, any of that stuff. I'm like that is all going to be paid off for. I'm like nah, that's like my thing is, and it's funny because she's all like nah, you ain't gotta do that. I'm like no, it's going to happen. I would do like a reverse robbery in the mortgage place that they gotta pay off. Like if they paying off a mortgage or a car note, I would seriously go to the dealership and hold them at, no, okay, I wouldn't. All right, let me stop myself before I say something. The next thing, well, no, I'm like, I don't think, so if I hold a person at gunpoint and say, you're going to take this money and things, I'm like, and this is paying off for that, her car out there and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I think that can work. But I wouldn't want to hold nobody at gunpoint. I ain't never did that before. So I'm like, but no, I would. I'm like, no, it's going to be a reverse robbery. I'm like, no, it's like, you're going to take this money and this car is going to be paid off. So I'm like, but if it ain't going to be that car, if it's another car or whatever car, I'm like, look, anything that them guys got in their life, it's like, it has to be paid off. I'm like, I'm making sure of it that I do that. It's like, no, my thing is like, you ain't going to bring me out of a dark, like sunken place and things. Like I was honestly in that same place that dude was at in Get Out. But jokes aside, like, but no, my thing is like, you ain't gonna bring me out of a dark spot in my life and then expect me to like not like repay you and things. So I'm like, nah, I'm like, you definitely receiving some sort of payment. I'm like, I don't care if it's a check for like $100,000 or just me just making sure you guys are set for the rest of my life. But I'm like, it's something, I'm doing something for you guys. All right. So anyways, but yeah, it's just be a work in progress. Don't be a quitter. Be a work in progress and just understand, like, things is going to take time. And, whether you got supporters. And, yeah, Priscilla, she's, like, the biggest supporter that I have when it comes to YouTube. So that's why I'm like, I can't give up. I can't stop. I remember when there was a point in time I told her, and this was like, me still being, I have to say, if it wasn't for her, that's why I'm like, that is like she is a legitimate God to get from earth. Because I'm like, if it wasn't for her, I remember there was at a point in time, and I've talked on this before, but there was at a point in time where I did almost quit YouTube. I almost quit. And if I had to say, if I had ignored her message or just overall was just all like, this overall, like, I got too many friends. I don't need any more friends. My thing is, like, that probably would have been the biggest mistake in my life, ignoring that message. Ignoring that, like, that second wave of messages. If I ignored the beginning of that second wave of messages, it definitely hands down would have been the biggest mistake of my life, because there was that point in time, I remember, like, maybe last year or the year before in 2018. Like I was like thinking about quitting YouTube, and I overall was all like, I had it all ready. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home, record this video, and then that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna post, like, I'm gonna upload whatever videos I got saved. But then after that, I'm like, I'm done. I'm not gonna do it anymore. But I remember I told her, and when I told her, she was just like, she talked me out of it. She straight up talked me out of it. It was just all like, don't ever quit YouTube for anything. And that's something that's like stuck with me. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like I said, I'm like, until it's whether it's YouTube or other projects, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna do something like social media related forever and stuff. I know that's gonna happen, but overall, I want it to lead to a point where it's like, okay, when I'm like up there in age and stuff, then I want to, like, young people like my age and things, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older. I want to be able to give them a platform to be able to become the person that they need to be. Kind of like a YouTube like record label or something. But it's like, I ain't scamming nobody. I ain't messing nobody up. I'm just, here's this platform, use it, and overall I'm going to take like maybe 5-10% off the top. So it's like, I still got some money for myself. I'm still going to most likely be doing my thing. So that's why I'm like, I probably won't take anything off the top. I'm like, we just going to be a group of people, just, it's going to be like a bunch of friends working with each other and stuff. So, but anyways, hopefully y'all have taken this advice or motivation as something to, use in life to help you and stuff. But anyways, yeah, find you a good friend like Priscilla. That's, that's like one of those like just rare like barn finds. Why am I referring to her as like something in a video game? Nah, she's like, she's one of those people I'm like, nah, I don't know what I did. I don't know who I helped. I don't know, like, if I helped, like, Jesus himself cross the street and then he just blessed me with a good friend. I don't know what I did. But that was like, man, it's like somebody like her. It's all like, did I deserve this? Like, what did I do? I'm like, I appreciate it. Thank you, God. But I'm like, what did I do? Like, please, like, give like, let me know. I'm like, I feel like there's going to be like an old homeless guy that turned out to been like Jesus himself and things. I'm like, hey, yo, like, I helped that man. I gave him food. I gave him money and stuff when I was downtown Seattle. I'm like, that was Jesus? Wow. I'm like, all right. I assumed he was going to look like the dude in the Passion of the Christ, but I guess not. But anyways, but nah, find you a good friend like that, and then, just overall, but just make sure you help them out in the long run. I'd never forgive myself if I had finally made it and I did absolutely nothing for them. I'm like, if that's the case, I'm like, yeah, I should just quit YouTube right now if I know I'm going to do some stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. I should have said thank you for watching and or listening, because I just said thank y'all for watching. Y'all, how y'all watching this? Y'all ain't seeing my face. But anyways, SeatGeek, promo code TMossBoss. It'll knock $20 off of your first purchase. So anyways, yeah, if you plan on going anywhere, I know there's a whole pandemic going on, so maybe you might want to purchase some stuff when the pandemic is over. And yeah, I got promo code TMossBoss, and it'll knock $20 off your first purchase, so make sure you use that. And then also, I have a promo code with the website called for CeeLo. They, TMossBoss, it'll knock 10% off of your next purchase. And there's also a referral link that I have in the description of all my latest videos on my main channel, TMossBoss, and on my gaming channel, TMossBoss Gaming. You guys can check that out. I also record an ad, and it'll show you some of the gear that's on there, from shoes, whether they're earpod chargers and stuff. So yeah, go check it out. I got some cool things on there. But anyways, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.